All right, everybody, welcome back to our Training Day podcast. I got my man Storm Roy with one of the greatest names I've ever heard. I don't think I've ever met anyone with the first name Storm. And I think that when we talked about it a few seconds ago, I said, with a name like that, you got to be like, just the amount of, innuendos and, titles and different sayings that you've probably heard throughout your lifetime are just probably unlimited. But I love this name. So it's an honor to have you on our Training Day podcast. How you feeling today, brother?
Feeling good. Yeah, it's really, really good to be here. Appreciate this. Yeah, when I started training, got to listen to videos with you. A whole bunch of other people helped start the company, and we're here at the beginning, or much more before me. So, really happy to be here.
Love it, man. Well, you're with Verum Vitae, and you guys are doing great numbers. I'd love to know a little bit about your backdrop. Kind of where were you before this, and how did you find Family First Life?
Sure. So, before this, I was working at a retail store. I had a buddy named Nick, who is my upline now, and he started at another IMO, didn't have great results, and then switched over to Family First Life and started having some success and was trying to convince me to come on board. And had a lot of life stuff going on right then. Started doing some of the training, kind of got freaked out, stopped for a little minute, and then he kept dripping on me, and eventually I ended up coming back because I saw the opportunity and I was kind of sick of where I was at. I had also started working with autistic kids at that point too. So between a retail job and working with kids on the spectrum, you know, I was looking for something that was fulfilling, but that would reward me for my time a little bit better, so I could help other people around me a little more.
Wow,
Yeah.
I like that. Were you an easy sell or were you a hard sell?
Oh no, we all, our friend group, thought he was in over his neck. We were like, "What is this? What are you getting up to?" He used to work for some government agencies and stuff. So I was like, okay, so you're going from that to this. That's a little weird, but we just started seeing the results, and he just started telling me all about it, and started shooting me videos. Pretty sure he sent me a couple of yours, and Paul McLean and Matt Smith and stuff. And I was like, all right, this is interesting.
Funny how you needed to see results and his results created the conversation that turned the head, right? You're like, at first you're like, what's he doing? This is crazy. This makes no sense. He's ruining his life. I mean, like, and then all of a sudden, Storm, there's results, there's deposits, there's a different conversation, and it makes you question what you're doing, right?
100%.
So how important was it for Nick to get results?
I think it was super important. And it wasn't even, for me, it was cool because I had a relationship with him before. So not only was he sharing results, but I was getting to see what he was doing with those results. He's a super helpful person in his community. And so it wasn't just like he was talking the talk, but he was also walking the walk. He'd reinvest in his business and be responsible. But I was like, oh, okay. So he's helping and being a helpful person. Obviously, he's able to do that because what he's doing is working. So that
That's
helped
huge.
even more.
That's huge. So when did you make that transition?
That would have been, I want to say early 2022, probably February, maybe. I think so. I went to the first convention before. I went to 2022 convention in Miami before I had writing numbers. Started hopping on live Dales just to listen to people dial and set up appointments.
Got it. Okay, so you went to conventions. So you've been to now 2 conventions.
Correct.
And I mean, as you kind of are increasing your volume, increasing your numbers, helping more families, you know, there's something about the training here. There's something about our process. What about what you've seen at convention, and what about what you've seen throughout your time here being trained and being immersed in training has helped you and put you in a position to win at the level you're winning at now, helping 30 or so families a month?
So I would just see these wonderful, really kind people get up on stage, and I would just think to myself, I'm smarter than them. No, I'm just kidding. No, I would see people sharing about their results though, and knowing that, and getting to meet some of them, and realizing that they were just human beings, that there was a process that worked, and that I'm not so special that the process won't work for me. Uh, You know,
The opposite of special.
right? Because if I'm special and unique, and I don't know, for myself, I've had two waves of those. It's like, okay, I'm special and I'm doing well now, and so I can take a break, or I'm special and it's not going to work for me.
Right.
And so I try to be just like y'all.
I like what you said there. I'm not so. First off, they're just human beings, right? They're on stage, great, congratulations. But they're not robots on stage. They're just humans. They put their pants on one leg at a time, like I do, right? And the reason they're on stage is because there's a process, right? They're plugging into something that's working. And if I plug into that, I can do what they're doing. Yes, that was it, right? And I don't, I
That was
don't,
it.
I don't think I'm so special. There's two versions of special, right? What you said was the special version where I'm just too awesome, the special version where I'm not awesome enough. But I'm not awesome enough that it won't work for me. That's a very simple, laid out plan to success, right? But that's just the thought process. Then you actually have to start walking. What did that look like? Leads, figuring out schedule, figuring out exactly all the things that you needed to figure out for you, and then how you learned how to increase and expand that.
Sure. So when I started, we were running entirely in the fields. And in the field, at least my wing of the team. I'm over in California. Most of my team is over in the Midwest. I guess Indiana's in the Midwest. I'm not sure, but they're all in Indiana. And we were running in the field in person. So I would get call in mortgage protection leads, and I would go drive 2 hours to a county to then run appointments, running up and down the hills, spending 4, 5, 6 hours in the car every day doing that. And that worked. And right when I started kicking up steam in the middle of summer 2022, that's when all the leads dried up. That's when the market shifted a little bit. So right when I was getting my momentum going, okay, I know if I have X amount of appointments for the weekend, because I was doing part-time at the time, I know if I have X, the math worked out, numbers were good. And then the script flipped. So all of a sudden, we don't have leads in our local areas like we have anymore. So we had to start transitioning to telesales, starting doing aged mortgage, tried my hand at final expense. I know for some people that works really, really awesome and wonderful. That was not my cup of tea. I did not do well with that. I won't name the state, but I will not run business in a particular state for final expense ever again. That was nuts. And then I had some personal, stuff going on too. A godfather that I lived with, that I was caretaking for 8 years, passed away in early part of this year. So it was just kind of like a financial and personal, year of adversity. And then coming into the beginning of this year, I started picking up some steam because I started investing in so buy per leads, and then also started investing in the digital mortgage protection leads. And that's what flipped the script for me. That's what kind of got that momentum back to where it's like, oh, okay, I feel new again, but now I can run consistent numbers and know what my lead flow needs to be, and have started to kind of get over that hump of figuring out telesales, which took way longer than it should have. So.
Wow. Makes sense. Now, again, you had some adversity. I think we all struggle with adversity from time to time. I think the key for you is that you fought the adversity and that you won. It's easy to lose against adversity when you don't want to fight it. What made you fight?
Yeah. So I just had my back up against the wall, and then I had a lot of really supportive people, I had my not my direct upline, but Matt Borsch. I mean, you call these people, it's nuts. If you put in the work and you're willing and you're trying to do the right thing, these people will pray with on the phone with you. These people will call you and be there for you and run scripts and do all that stuff for you. So having that support kind of helped me go, oh, okay, yeah, I got stuff going on, but I need to dial and help other people and try and make it more about the client than about myself. And yeah, and then Matt said something too that was interesting. He said, you deserve this, which was a weird concept. I never considered that I did or didn't, but when he said that, I realized that maybe a part of me had thought, oh, I'm never going to be able to produce at this level or be one of the people on the stage or be able to do this in life. And so I don't think there was one pat thing, but having a network of people to be plugged into, talking to daily, who supported me through that helped me a lot. And just knowing that, when I do well with what I do, I'm able to give back to the community that I'm a part of as well. So it all circles around. It makes it all worth it for me. For me, that's my why.
Wow.
If it's just for me, for myself, it doesn't give me the motivation to get up on time and be ready to go. But when it's about other people, something about that helps me be more about it.
It's crazy, man, and good.
Yeah.
And good. It's amazing how everybody ticks differently, and I could see the passion, when you started talking about being supported and being supported through a tough time. Everybody wants to be supported through a tough time, but sometimes people think support is unrealistic because other people have stuff going on too, and this is just my little problem. I'm in my little corner. I'm in my bag. I'm gonna kind of just stay in my deal, and I'll soak on my own. And maybe I'll refine the dream. Maybe I'll lose the dream. I don't know. I don't even know if I deserve the dream. And then to have someone like Matt, you know what I'm saying? Say you deserve. Like, to me, first off, I know Matt's tonality. I'm hearing him say it as you say. He said it, but how life-giving is that, man?
And Matt's, I mean, he's he's not the most soft and cuddly. And he's not, he apologizes for being harsh, and it's like, brother, you're not harsh. But he is he's assertive and strict and straight to the point, and won't waste time if you're not putting in the work. But it's just interesting how one little thing people can say can kind of change the trajectory, of people's lives, and he may not even remember saying that,
Right. But you do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the reasons, obviously, you put in the work and you dealt with it how you needed to deal with it. It's one of the reasons you're helping 30 families a month now. And I mean, that's significant. That's significant for you, and as you said, for your community, because you like to give back to your community. So you have your why, and you have your how, which is telesales, and the vehicle that you're in. So let's talk about the what. Let's talk about how, the way you go about this. What is it that you're doing to get the result that you're getting?
So again, there was a lot of different things. I was looking through all the training videos I was watching and all this stuff for that one magic secret thing that would change everything. But it was like an accumulation of a bunch of small stuff, like being willing to sacrifice staying up late and doing the stuff I like to do, like getting up on time, like having a routine, like checking in daily with a mentor. But as far as the practical sense, the biggest part was buying leads.
All that's practical, though. So that stuff helps. I do want to talk, schedule and exactly your approach to telesales, maybe your scripting. But this stuff is massive because, again, it's not all just tactical stuff. We're dealing with a lot up here. Mm-hmm. We're dealing with a lot in here. What you're doing to deal with that is going to help people. So continue, please.
Yeah, 100%. Exercising for me, like having a spiritual life, like taking time in the morning to like say some prayers or meditate, or even if that's not your cup of tea, like taking some time to listen to positive music, anything. To like, the biggest part of this is the mindset for me. If mentally I'm not present, I'm not going to do nothing. Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care. I'm not going to make those dials. I'm not going to, try and put forth effort, because mentally it's not going to work out. They're going to be mean. They're going to answer and da, 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 da. But when I treat my mind with, having a routine, doing exercise, getting rest, being willing to sacrifice little luxuries. Like for me, I had to get rid of my social media. I'm not using it for recruiting or anything right now. So I had to get rid of that kind of stuff for me, because it was crazy and distracting and wasting time for me when I'm not being productive on it. Right. So
Mm,
accumulation of a lot of things with the intent of, I want to be more streamlined and effective and helpful.
okay. And that leads to productivity. Yes?
100%.
All these life hacks. Everyone's are different. Some people, some people meditate and pray. Some people read positive affirmations. Some people journal. Some people run. Some people walk. Some people listen to music. Like, again, what is your deal? What keeps you upright? You do have to find that in life. You're finding it or found it. What would you say?
Always finding it, but I've found some
Amen.
stuff that works though.
That works.
Willing to keep growing, but yeah.
It's rhythmic, okay? Because we need a rhythm that's productive for the mind,
Mm.
and it allows you to then get into the tactical stuff. So tactically now, what are some things? What are you doing to help 30 families a month? We talk about leads, the type of leads, how much you're investing, and the kind of schedule you're running to get that result from a call to close standpoint.
Sure. 100%. So it all starts with leads. If you don't have leads, it's very hard to call people to, help them. So starts with getting leads. I like having automated lead orders. Right now, I still have some BPL counties for some call-in mailers. So those trickle in, those are automated. But I also started doing a digital mortgage protection lead vendor that I can either do. I've been splitting up to do a set of 50 in the beginning of the week, and then a set of 50 at the later part of the week.
Hmm.
Um, lead spend can range from between, try not to get it over 3,000, but maybe like one to, I would say probably 2,500 would be a good average. 2,000, 2,500 a week for me.
Okay. Yeah.
And then once I have the leads, scheduling, I want to continue getting better. But what I would really like to do, because I'm on Pacific time, is get up at 5, start dialing East Coast, and then Central, and then Mountain, and then Pacific time. So I have a 4-hour window to call during that golden hour between 8 and 9, catch people on their way to work, and either set appointments or do one call close. One really important thing for me that has been helping me lately is, instead of having an appointment count of, okay, I know if I have 30, 40, 50 appointments a week, I'm golden. I'm good to go. I'm going to find sales in there.
Mm-hmm.
What I've noticed with digital mortgage protection, just for myself, I can't get them to show up on the phone. I was setting about 50 appointments a week and having like a, 20% show ratio. So, talk about having a day with 15 appointments. Oh, hey, Nick, I got 15 appointments. I'm going to really help a lot of families, and then not so much. So what I've been transitioning to is one call close. So if I got them on the phone, I want to close with them if I can. And if they absolutely can't, they're working or doing other things, then I'll go ahead and set an appointment. But I don't go into it going, if they answer the phone, I have to set an appointment. I have to set an appointment. If they answer, I'm assuming we're going to do the appointment, and I'm assuming I'm going to help you, unless you tell me otherwise.
Got it. So you're doing both. Obviously, your goal is to call to close, but you have to set appointments if it doesn't work at that time, right?
Sure.
What would you say is your close ratio on the call to close? I get you on the phone.
I would say 30 to 50%, depending. I'll say this. Yeah, I'd say ranging from like 25 to 50, because the way it was broke down for me was, 25% of people are going to say yes no matter what, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from between up to about 75% is going to be your increase in skill. But I'd say a lot of them, it's about 50%. Because if you can get them on the phone and they're willing to sit with you, the lead is pretty high intent. Unless I screw it up somehow, pretty good shot of getting that to go through.
That's strong.
Hardest part is just getting them on the phone.
No doubt. And what is your rhythm for that? Do you have a dialer? Do you have unlike a dialing system, or are you using you just dialing with your fingers? How's it working?
Yeah, so I'm using a Ringy, a CRM platform.
Yep, totally.
So reason being, I can use a whole bunch of different numbers, try and get people in their area codes, but sometimes people don't answer their own area codes. So sometimes I'll then switch to my cell phone or whatever. I'm kind of a weirdo and I don't do well with dead brain time. So I'll usually be dialing from multiple devices at once, and whoever picks up first, that's who I'm going to go ahead and try and one call close.
Got it. Dude, well, it's obviously working. It's obviously making you, you've gotten stronger, a lot stronger since you started. You've got a lot stronger since you had to kind of make an adjustment back to getting into this full time. And you're trending right now upwards. So that's pretty awesome. If an agent was in your position back in the day, 12 months ago, and they were going through adversity and they were doubting whether this was for them or not, or they were doubting whether or not they could still do this, or they were doubting anything, what would you say to them?
Persist. Yeah, don't give up on. I don't even like saying don't give up on yourself. I mean, I know that's a common thing, and if that helps you, great. But don't give up on the system. Because I can have doubts about myself all day long, but when I again say no, the system works. Mark wouldn't be sitting there if the system didn't work. Sean, Mike, Nick, Matthew Borsch, Brian Kosk, all these people. If you don't give up on the system, I haven't seen people who've shown up and worked fail, but the people that stop showing up fail.
Wow. That's really good.
Simple as that.
That's really good. Well, thank you, Storm, for taking the time to share with us your journey, share with us the things that are working for you, share with us why you're having the success you're having now. I appreciate your time. Storm Roy, Training Day Podcast. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
God bless you all. A lot of nuggets here, man. Storm dropped that fire, or he sent the storm. He sent the thunder. He sent the lightning. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man.